And I feel like there's going to be fake trees in the future, kind of thing, because we're cutting all of them down. It's that kind of feeling. And I'm so glad if that's happening, I'm glad that I won't be alive for that time, to be honest. Hi, everyone. My name is Keboneilwe. I'm age 22. And I am a student at this very moment studying sound engineering and a living artist.
We wanted to compress 1,000 years in one space using human age as a unit of measure. So we asked people a few questions about some consistent aspects of the life experience. What does being human mean to you?
I don't know. I think being human for me, has always been based on emotional connection and being able to interact with a different set of people that are different to you in order to be able to actually get ahead with anything in life. As long as you have this communal sense around you, then you're not going to have this struggle towards getting help or getting assistance towards a project or whatever it may be that you need in your life. That community is very important, because the bigger the community, the easier everyday life challenges or tasks get, So I think being human is about community, and it's probably why I miss being tribal in a way, I guess. It's when we were all actually acknowledging one another rather than competing against each other.
What do you feel you have confident knowledge of?
I really don't know. What do I have confident knowledge of? I want to say of myself, but I actually don't have enough knowledge of myself. I'm still learning. So at the moment, I would say I have confident knowledge that I'm a loving being overall. I am capable to see past the bridges that people build for themselves to kind of seem a specific way, in a sense, or I don't know if I'm making sense, but I think I have confident knowledge that I have a high capability of loving.
If you could offer a newborn child only one piece of advice, what would it be?
Wow. What would it be? I advise this new child to be open-minded, actually. Being open-minded gives you the power to be a better person, in a sense, like being a more intuitive human, and that and accepting others for what they are, no matter what shape or size or what height they are, is very, very important. Whether or not it's something that your parents taught you not to accept, it's very important to have an open mindset towards anything that you set yourself to or are curious about.
What's the difference between being alive and truly living?
Being alive is waking up in the morning and saying that I have to do this again, And truly living is waking up and deciding to have a better day than you had yesterday. I think that actually quite answered it properly.
If you could ask your future self one question, what would it be?
How are we doing today? That's it. That's it. Yeah, I don't ask myself that question very much. So, how are you doing today?
What do you want to spend most of your life doing?
Making movies, showing people what this brain goes through most of the time, the experiences I've lived, and my perspective of life, and what I believe is what is truly life in my aspect. Like everybody has their own way of explaining what life is in general. How I wake up and carry on, go to work and do all of these things and all of that. And I just feel like I have a slightly different way of doing that. So I want to make my movies showing that there's this other world of crazy that people need to kind of open their minds to and kind of accept as part of their community. Whether or not we live right across the world from each other, we're still one community, because one action of yours affects something else eventually, So yeah, I just want to make movies my whole life to change people's perspectives on certain situations.
What value would you like to pass on to the next generation if you have or were to have children?
That's such a hectic question. What values? I don't know. Value family. Okay. I guess what the values I would share with them is the value of family, value of value yourself above all, value honesty over anything as well. And yeah, I guess that's it really, actually. Value what is given in front of you, family, yourself, and truth.
What's the one thing you'd like to change about the world?
I'd like for everybody to get along, but that's quite impossible. But I think what I would change is the lifestyle we chose to live, in terms of the structures we build around ourselves, such as big houses that are unnecessary. At this moment, I've been learning a lot about earth homes. Basically, they're made out of a lot of sand and like all recyclable material, and this material kind of just gives back anything that you ask for. Basically, it's got installation, you've got your water system running through your house and all that, and it's not coming from a pipe, it's coming straight from the ground or straight from your house. And that kind of then decreases our footprint overall. So I think I would change how we choose to live our lives every day, in terms of this decisions we make that is damaging Mother Earth, essentially. Like COVID is example one, basically. It kind of came around and people are so excited for the year, and then this thing hits and it's like, okay, now actually we all need to sit back and think and recuperate and breathe and remember ourselves, because we've all been rushing so much to get somewhere for some reason. We've all been like speeding and speeding and speeding. I can't stop. But all of us have been so depressed because no one has had time to actually be within. So like COVID came around and was like, you're forced to stay at home and actually interact with one another and interact with yourself and change what you do around the world in order to actually make something better, and us wearing masks, for example, and germs disappearing, not disappearing, germs getting more, becoming more of the front line for humanity, being like, you have to be careful to not get sick. That contributes to, you have to be careful what you pollute out there, whatever piece of paper you throw out there causes someone else's lungs to get weaker, It's just very important for us to learn how to change our lifestyle.
If you didn't know how old you are, how old would you be?
I think I would be in my 50s, 60s. I'm quite an old soul. I don't know. I just never find interest in having to go through certain life lessons, because I kind of feel like I already know that, but some would say I don't. So fair enough on them. But yeah, I think I would be quite old actually if I wasn't this old, and I would be happy, very happy.
What's the best piece of advice you've received?
Why do tomorrow what you can do today? Do not delay your dreams or your your wishes in life. Don't think that because you can't have it today, you can't have it tomorrow, or whatever it is. Rather, like, start doing exactly what you know you need to do to actually get where you need to be today, rather than procrastinating. Procrastination is a big thing in humanity, and it's something that we all have a struggle in, and that's okay. But I think it's very important for us to stop questioning what we feel is right. If you feel like you can do it tomorrow, then start today, actually. So yeah, I think that's been the best advice I've been given in my life.
Share an experience you've had in your life that has taught you a lesson that you'll cherish forever.
It's a really sad experience. Not sad, but it's just kind of disappointing. So I was in high school, trying to get a job interview, or just a job in general, to just earn a little bit of money. And I went to a specific store. It was this surf store, and I was living in the coast. And I gave the lady the CV, and she said, "Sorry, we have no space." So I left it be. Then a week later, a friend of mine this is very important actually, he was white-skinned, and as you can see, I'm black, and he got the job at the same place a week later, and I had been informed that there was no job, basically. And that kind of disappointed me in a way, like the fact that my skin color was the reason why I actually didn't get this job. And it was the first time I had experienced racism towards myself, because I've grown up with a white family, and that has never been a problem. And I've never seen it as something that's as a conversation that needs to happen, and I was in high school, so I should have been old enough to actually understand it, or kind of know what I was going through in that moment, but I didn't. So it taught me a lesson to be aware that there are bad people out there. It doesn't matter how honest or how innocent you're trying to be in your life, and how open-minded and how loving you are towards any culture or anything. There's always that one person that will change everything in that moment,
What do you think life will be like 1,000 years from now?
I hope there aren't any floating cars. But I see it as a world where currency will be the only thing that actually cycles around the world, instead of unity and love. And I'm such a hippie, actually. I hope the future has no technology that takes over the world, basically. But I feel like it will. There'll be a lot of war between humans and the power of not needing technology. So there will be two different sets of humans: the humans that love technology and the humans that are trying to fight against it. So the neo-human evolution and the all the humans, basically. I don't know how to name them, but like all the humans, yes. I think that's the kind of space we're going to live in, and it's not going to be a happy space, to be honest, because we're already allowing technology to take over the world. If you watch Black Mirror, it's example A of that. But yeah, and I feel like there's going to be fake trees in the future, kind of thing, because we're cutting all of them down. Yeah. It's that kind of feeling. And I'm so glad, if that's happening, I'm glad that I won't be alive for that time, to be honest.